Welcome to the drunk tank. We're gonna have some serious fun. Gonna play a heap of games. So I guess we better get started.
It's a podcast.
Was that a ukulele?
I think it was. Yeah, the file is named ukulele. Something.
Props, buddy.
That's
that was
Rico the 2ND.
So should we start this podcast off by saying that we're recording it early?
Yeah.
Yes.
You probably
Yeah.
should.
No, we're totally
So that people don't understand why we're not talking about
Jeff and
E3.
I-
we're totally Skyping.
Jeff and I flew in back to Austin on Wednesday morning
just to record the
this.
podcast and then
Yeah.
back out to LA right after it.
This is a preemptive podcast recorded ahead of time because all four of us, I think, will most likely be out of town next week.
Yeah.
And yet, I can still say with confidence that I'm upset about the oil spill. I have a pretty good feeling 4 days aren't going to change that.
Can you believe those jerks in Washington and what they did?
That's a Simpsons line, buddy.
Hey, shut up. You're the one that knows I'm poaching material.
That's like the Auto DJ 2000 or whatever. What about those buzzers in Washington?
Where does he get his material?
That's the Stampy episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But seriously, that earthquake yesterday, that was nuts.
Wow.
What is that, 50 this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of the Earth is splitting in half.
So we should. Well, I guess we should preface and say that we don't know what's happening in E3 yet,
No, because it's only Friday.
and we don't know if Texas has gone to the Pac-16 or the Big Ten or what's up yet.
Yeah, we won't find that out till Tuesday.
Yeah, we now know Colorado and Nebraska have left for sure. So let's talk more about college football.
Let's not.
Are
Let's talk about
What's
what
more
our
boring, coaching changes or conference changes?
yeah.
What next?
Let's speak to the
Probably coaching
audience.
changes. So Rooster Feast is kicking off a little later today.
As a matter of fact, as pretty much as soon as the podcast is over, I'm going to go meet the Rooster Teeth. They don't know it. I'm going to go walk over and meet the Rooster Feast guys at a place and invite them over to tour the office if they want to.
Oh, really?
Where are you going to meet them?
They're going to be at Juan Pelota. They're going to be it's a little coffee shop over at 4th Street.
It's over by the 360 condos.
It's Lance Armstrong's like bike shop, coffee shop thing.
Oh, I know the place. We've eaten there.
Yeah.
That's one nut, right?
That's a breakfast
Yeah.
place, kind of, right?
Sort of.
We
They have tacos and
we
stuff.
bought some props. We bought the costume there for the Dev Cycle short where I dressed up like Johnny Cage. Then we got the
Yeah.
shorts and stuff there, the sunglasses.
So if you ever want Johnny Cage shorts, which you might need because they're making the new Mortal Kombat. Did you guys talk about it in
Nah.
this week?
We talked about it very briefly.
oh, did we?
Just in
No, no.
passing. I think I said it was meh. You were okay with it, and Jack loved it.
I thought the fan service was ridiculously over the top. I thought the action sequence was good.
Here's
That was
to
it.
you. I couldn't agree more with that.
The action sequence, the fight, just reminded me of Watchmen.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the fight was good. I really did enjoy
It made me think of I don't know much about Watchmen. The guy who dies and everyone's investigating his death.
The comedian.
The comedian. It made me
That
think
was-
of like the fight where the comedian
Yeah.
dies.
That was the first fight. That was like one of the first scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
If not the first scene.
Should be the first scene. It's first scene in the comic.
Then it probably was.
Probably.
You're talking about Watchmen now, not Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said the fight in the Mortal Kombat trailer made me think of the
Right.
fight.
I
with
just want to make sure
comedian.
that there's not a Mortal Kombat comic that this is based on because we don't know what this is. Does anybody know what it is yet?
Yeah, it's just a pitch piece.
Yeah, it's nothing official.
Oh, so is it like that fall? Remember the Fall of Reach concept art that they kept putting out
Yeah.
there?
Kind of, except this had like actual. I mean, it had Jerry Ryan in it and like Michael J.
White.
Michael J. White was in it. Had some
So
actual.
they got all the big names.
And then the
I mean-
guy who played Johnny Cage is actually he's an MMA fighter too. He's someone. I
Got
forget.
his
like I
ass
said,
kicked.
all the big names.
Interesting, that I read that thing was shot on 2 Reds
Yep.
It looked good.
in
Yeah.
2 days.
in 2 days.
It looked really, really good.
I
So
think-
was she Jerry Ryan? Was she Sonya Blade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she have fighting experience?
She didn't have to. She just had to wear a business suit and look at some paperwork.
Oh yeah, because she was a cop, right?
Right.
Or she was a Fed or something.
Something. Probably some shadow organization within the government.
So have you heard the big hubbub that's about to land on us? Speaking of Feds and people in business suits.
No.
What?
Okay, I'm going from memory here again.
It better not
as
affect the
usual.
fucking stock market, though.
Apparently, there's some guy in the military who had access to diplomatic cables, like a long historical record of diplomatic cables, meaning communications from our ambassadors back to the U.S. or vice versa about ongoing foreign negotiations,
Okay.
opinions of new leaders, deals, all that kind of stuff. And he just took all of it and gave it to WikiLeaks.
What?
Yep, all of it. And
Is that's got to be highly illegal, right?
well, apparently to a point where he could be tried for treason. But
That's fucking crazy.
it's crazy. It's really crazy. And the scariest quote I read about it was that some guy anonymously in the military or high up in the government said try to get interviews with people you could normally get interviews right now about this. No one's talking about it. Everyone's in hiding over this, just waiting for it to land. We don't react that way to every story. That's how bad this is going to be.
And this is going to hit. Like WikiLeaks is going to release it?
The Pentagon is looking for the founder of WikiLeaks right now.
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to load WikiLeaks, and it's not loading right now.
Dude, that's fucking nuts.
They're trying to preemptively put toothpaste back in the tube.
Dude, that WikiLeaks guy's about to die.
It might be...
Somebody's about to have a car accident.
I think he's like, yeah, we can't find him.
Yeah, where did he go?
He disappeared mysteriously.
He must have really gone into hiding, because even we at the Pentagon can't find him. Wow.
They might send him to the bottom of the Gulf to try to fix the oil spill.
What is WikiLeaks' biggest thing?
I don't know, but I bet the FBI's DDoS guys are all over it, attacking WikiLeaks right now.
I can't load it. It's not there.
That may actually hit before this podcast comes out. I mean, it could happen the next day or two. This is Thursday that we're talking about this. Friday. If I'm using the current day, I'll say Friday.
We're in today day, not yesterday day.
Sorry, I've been a little... my sleep schedule's way off.
Dude, that is unbelievable.
Hey, weren't you in a car crash, Jeff?
Yeah,
I guess we should talk about that, yeah. I left work yesterday at 6 o'clock. I have a very nice friend who decided she wanted to buy a scooter. Like a Vespa.
Like a Vespa,
It's like a 1965 Vespa, a classic scooter. And she doesn't know how to drive it yet. She got a good deal on it. And she knows I have a motorcycle license because I used to own a motorcycle. So she asked if I would be kind enough to meet her at the place where she bought it and drive it back to her house for her so that it could get there safely and legally.
Right.
So
it's a responsible thing to do.
I complied. I should preface that I haven't ridden a motorcycle in probably 6 or 7 years, and that I quit riding motorcycles because I wrecked twice in a year.
Jeff, why would you need to preface this by saying that?
When Jack asked you if you had a motorcycle license yesterday, you got very defensive. So
Yeah.
you never forget how to ride a motorcycle, and it's no big deal. And
That's true.
Let me then counter by saying that a motorcycle and a Vespa are very, very different vehicles.
Okay.
I learned very quickly and painfully that a motorcycle is center balanced because the engine is in the center of the bike. And on a classic Vespa, the engine is tacked on to the back right side, and then there's no counterbalance weight on the left, so the Vespa pulls hard to the right. So I was trying to figure it out and try to remember how to ride a fucking bike, by the way. And I was driving in Lamar, going about 40 miles an hour, and I had to make a left turn, and I couldn't figure out the turn ratio because of the weight imbalance. And so I ran straight into a curb going 40 miles an hour. The bike flew about 15 feet. I did a flip in the air. I landed on my neck, hit the ground, bounced, according to the guy that stopped, bounced 2 or 3 feet in the air, flew over a sidewalk, and then landed on the other side of the grass. Came out of it very sore. Don't have a scratch on me because I didn't hit any kind of concrete or anything. Luckily, I bounced over it, but I did land on my neck, and my neck hurts like a motherfucker.
luckily, I bounced over the concrete.
Yeah. The guy who stopped and called the paramedics, I was talking to him while we were waiting for the paramedics to arrive.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
I can
I'm
laugh.
really, my neck is really stiff and sore, but I'm okay. I think it's bruised and probably pulled a muscle or something. But, the guy said it looked awesome. The guy who stopped, I was so embarrassed.
Don't you wish you had theater mode so you go back and see what it looked like?
Yeah. The guy, I was so embarrassed, and I felt so bad about wrecking this Vespa that this girl has only owned for about 10 minutes maybe 15 minutes at the point when I wrecked it for her.
Did she see you wreck it?
No, we got separated driving, and so they had to come back, and they just saw the bike in pieces. So that was kind of a sucky conversation. So now I'm going to pay to fix her Vespa for her. I don't know how much it'll be.
Right.
It's not currently running.
How much do those things cost, like retail?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
This is a
Yeah,
classic
It's
one,
a classic.
Keep an eye on that. It might end up being cheaper for you just to buy a replacement Vespa.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how bad it's going to be. But anyway, so then the paramedics come. And I'm like, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. And they make me sign some waivers and stuff. But the paramedics turned out to be 2 super hot chicks. And I almost felt like I was being pranked.
What?
Yeah, they were 2 hot, like really hot chicks. And they laughed and laughed and laughed at me. And that was emasculating.
So it's like high school.
And then 3 cops showed up, and then they were laughing and asking how I could possibly crash a scooter. Making sure I wasn't drunk because what kind of idiot doesn't crashes a scooter at 6 p.m. going 40 miles an hour?
Did they give you a sobriety test or anything?
No. I think they felt bad for me, and it was all very, very embarrassing.
I feel bad for a grown man driving a Vespa too.
I feel terrible that I wrecked her scooter, and I can't wait to fix it for her. and I have now officially been in what I would consider to be my first real car crash.
So when you used to own a motorcycle, you laid it down before. That's why you quit.
I did.
Riding that motorcycle.
I laid it down twice. And
you were pointing. We and I guess you and I both came to the conclusion. We both realized today that. Yet last time you did that, and then this time there's a biker rally going on in Austin.
The reason I gave it up last time is because it was bike weekend in Austin, where we have like hundreds of thousands of bikers come to downtown, and I was turning a corner and I hit some gravel and I laid the bike down in front of like 20 bikers, and they laughed at me for about 15 minutes while I tried to shake it off. I got a lot more hurt that time, and but no damage at all was done to the bike, and I didn't hit anything. This time I hit a lot of stuff. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm done. So I sold the motorcycle and that was it. And then sure enough, it's bike weekend this weekend again, once a year, and I managed to wreck somebody else's bike.
Well, how about this? The last 2 times you've been on a bike, you've wrecked it.
Physically, the last 2 times I've touched a motorcycle, I've wrecked it. Yeah.
Jeez.
So...
You've got a great batting average there, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tender E3 for me as I hobble around.
Does a Vespa really qualify as a motorcycle? I mean, are we saying this the right way?
I have no idea.
It's the same driver's license class, so yes.
It hurts as much.
Class M, right?
when you wreck it.
Just for the fuck of it, we should get you on a Segway this weekend.
Oh, God.
See what happens.
I'm never going to touch 2 wheels again. 2 wheels and a motor. I'm done with those.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Thanks, man.
At first, Griffin posted a Twitter picture of you with your torn shirt, and I thought you hit a curb going 5 miles an hour or something. So I was laughing at you.
Oh no.
Yeah, you didn't look like you got in a wreck going 40 miles an hour.
Well, I was luckily Well,
yeah.
The pic didn't do it justice, I guess, but it sucked a lot, and yeah. So anyway, that was what I did yesterday.
Nice.
I didn't get into any wrecks.
No.
Have you ever ridden a motorcycle, Gus?
One time I rode his old motorcycle a block down the street where he used to live.
I would pay to have seen that.
I almost wrecked into every car going down the street. I was having trouble controlling it.
That was nerve-wracking for me.
It was a mess. Well, luckily you're the one. I didn't destroy your motorcycle. You destroyed it yourself.
Yeah, that's true. And other people's.
I wrecked a motorcycle. It's the last time I ever rode a motorcycle, I wrecked a motorcycle.
That was when you got covered in gas, right?
Yeah, the gas tank busted open and covered me in gas. It's one of those things where you just realize I'm, a spark away from being dead. Or even worse, burned over 90% of my body for the rest of my life.
That's kind of an awesome and terrible feeling at the same time. Like when I landed on my neck and then I rolled and I realized I wasn't wearing a helmet and I realized, if I would have landed, who knows, 10 degrees differently.
Yeah, you have a couple degrees of rotation different and you're, landing on your head.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't be Stephen Hawking, dude. That's a nice try. Even when you work out stuff like turn ratios when you're crashing, what is a turn ratio exactly?
I don't know.
You should have flowered up a long time ago. I was calculating the turn ratio.
The angular velocity was such that
my girl's bike ran into a flower bush. I just can't believe, too. I mean, here's this girl who calls you because she buys this. She's excited because she just bought a new Vespa.
She's super excited.
You show up and wreck that fucking thing.
She was afraid of wrecking it herself, so she called the expert.
Yeah,
the person she knew who had a license.
The only person she knew who had one, yeah.
What could have possibly happened had she driven that would have been worse than what you did?
Nothing.
Like she goes off the bridge into a lake.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
But you're okay.
I'm okay.
That's the important thing.
I'm okay. I'm just super sore.
You don't have life insurance, do you?
Life insurance? No.
You need to get fucking life insurance.
You have life insurance?
Think about that for a second,
man.
Think about that. Shut up, Jack.
Shut up.
Think about that for a second. He's also 30. I mean, it's like, what's going to happen to him? Just, stay off the Vespas.
35, almost.
Well, whatever.
But, I had a long conversation with Griffin last night about how I don't have life insurance, or rather, she had a conversation with me about it, and so now I'm about to be very insured.
That may be my wife's fault. Like when Griffin came over to our house last night, the first question my wife asked her when she walked in the door was, "Does Jeff have life insurance?"
Yeah. That's your value. Then you figure it out, dude.
Yeah.
The cool thing about getting life insurance is you actually do figure out how healthy you are, because doctor will tell you fuck whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're fine. Lose weight, stop drinking so much, that kind of thing. But if a company's going to put a dollar value on you, guess what? You find out exactly how healthy you are.
Yeah.
It's like they'll tell you, well, we'll insure you for the next 10 years because you're going to die at 47. It's like, I'm working out. It's like, no, you're going to die at 47. We know.
Our actuary table's never wrong.
Exactly.
So as long as I survive E3, I'll get life insurance when I come home.
Word of advice, do not tell him you're getting life insurance because, guess what? I wrecked my Vespa not wearing a helmet yesterday. They're like, okay, reject it.
Yeah, no.
I was getting some quotes for life insurance last month, I think, and they were like showing me the different quotes, and I was like, "What's this column over here? Why is this one so much cheaper?" They're like, "Oh, this is the super preferred rate. You're not healthy enough to get this."
Oh,
I was
really?
like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you need to work out or something. You can't qualify for this." And I was like, okay."
See all these check boxes in the alcohol section of the document, Mr. Sorolla? If all these check boxes were checked over here, then you get the better rate. But the thing I would recommend also when you're getting life insurance is don't tell your wife how much you have. Seriously, never let her know.
No, I won't.
Exactly. Just don't let her know. Say it's enough, that's it. Say if I die, you'll be hating life. Yeah, but you'll get Millie to 18 and that's it.
Yeah, and then you're on your own.
Yeah. But it ain't going to be a party.
Don't give her any incentive to finish the job.
You don't know. Women are crazy, dude. You don't know. You don't know. It could. I mean, you sleep next to her. I'd be careful.
She's strong. She's got big hands. She can choke me in my sleep. I don't know. And she's spiteful and vindictive.
You just don't know. You got to be careful.
It's like an elephant.
I
She
think
holds
you're
a
fueling
grudge
the fire here.
forever.
You just don't know. You just have to be careful. Play the odds.
Yeah.
There's no reason she doesn't have to know. She doesn't have to. Doesn't do her any good.
What's a funeral cost? About $8,000?
It gives her something to think about.
That's as far as she knows. That's how much my insurance policy will be.
make it for $8,500. Go and splurge.
No,
I'll pay for the Big Lebowski-esque coffee can.
Now, are you being buried inside the mangled remains of a Vespa, or do they have to separate you from that? So, how bad is a Vespa fucked up? Front tires fucked up?
It's very dented and scratched, and it won't start. But and it wouldn't shift gears at all. But I fixed,
that's not so bad.
I fixed that. But I think the reason it wouldn't start was because it was probably flooded from the flipping and whatnot. So
it sounds like you turned it into a Prius. Wow, that's how you like that.
But I'm sure it's nothing major. It's cosmetic for sure, but I think it fared better than I did.
I think a Vespa's all cosmetic, isn't it?
Possibly. It was really pretty.
It was. So, what was your reaction? Was it I'm alive or I fucked up somebody's scooter?
I
first
was
reaction.
laying in the grass and I thought I'm alive and I could feel that I wasn't terribly hurt, and the neck didn't start hurting until after I got home. It's like you got all the endorphins or whatever running, and I felt pretty okay. And I was laying there and I was like, I just need to lay here for a few minutes and be calm before I even think about calling her and having that painful conversation or anything. And then I started to hear cars stop, and I thought people probably think I'm hurt because I'm not moving, so I jumped up. And I didn't want to, but I didn't want the paramedics or the cops or anything to come. I was hoping that if it was obvious that I wasn't injured, then maybe that wouldn't happen. But I was too late. So I got up and I ran and I grabbed the bike and I moved over and I just started to immediately try to start it because I wanted to get out of there. My first thought was to flee.
What the fuck? You're like the Tiger Woods of shitty girl bikes.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're gonna find out all these weird facts about Jeff now that he's been in a car accident.
Yeah.
Why did that happen? Why did we find out all that stuff about Tiger as a result of that car accident?
It was the reason, we were trying to figure out the reason why he crashed his car, and
why his wife tried to rescue him by smashing a window at the rear of his car.
Yeah, the rear window was shattered and his face was all fucked up, but the car wasn't that bad. And
there were the reports that he was asleep outside in front of it.
Yeah.
You should have done all that.
Should have. Just taken a bunch of Ambien.
Could have sold your story, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But my wife, we were, speaking of crazy people, my wife was talking about video game characters, female video game characters, and she saw, I can't even tell you what game it was, but she saw a female video game character, I think it was Psychonauts even, and she was just like a buxom lady, that was in a tight-fitting outfit and all that, and she went off on this goddamn rant about how come all the women in video games look like that. Do you ever get this at all? Like, why do women in video games always look like this?
Uh-uh.
Oh, God. She just went off on this huge rant. Anyway, then I won't go. If you guys don't hear it, it's not something people talk about then.
I'm sure a lot of people hear it.
Well, it's like, the image of women in video games, too. They talk about that a lot, the way that women are portrayed. They're always wearing those sexy outfits, It's like, why is she fighting Kung Fu, but she's wearing, a halter top and all that?
I think I get lucky because Griffin plays WoW and Fable, and you can design your own characters and, and, like, dress them and stuff, so she feels like an attachment to that. And in Fable, you can get fat, so...
All right. Let's go on for the fat people, for fat rights. But I never play a video game as a guy. And, like, I'm playing Gears of War. Was it Marcus Phoenix is the head dude?
Uh-huh.
I don't see him and feel bad about myself.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's like all the dudes are these super mega warriors, and I don't feel like a little tiny man because I'm playing as Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah, how come I don't have arms like tree trunks?
Yeah.
So unfair.
And you know why you don't think like that?
Because I'm not an idiot?
Because you're not fucking crazy. Exactly.
It's like a recurring theme in this podcast. Crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy. I don't know why you'd look at a character in a video game and associate it with yourself in a negative way.
Right.
In any way. Like, oh, how come Guile can kick over his head? I can't kick over my head. I gotta get to work. I can't ever achieve that. It's not fair. They shouldn't put that out there. It's unattainable.
I can't shoot lightning from my fingers.
So did y'all see that Twitter, I guess that Microsoft PR guy put out talking about Halo 3 sales?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Halo 3 outsold Resistance 1 and 2, Uncharted 1 and 2, Killzone 2, and God of War 3 combined.
Are you serious?
In the U.S. It's in the U.S. There was a PlayStation fanboy in one of our comments. It was like, that's just U.S. only. If it's worldwide sales, it kicks its ass. It's like, even that.
So, like, six flagship PS3 titles were outsold by Halo 3. Six flagship PS3 titles combined were outsold by Halo 3.
I actually think that's a pretty legit argument, what Jack just said, because to me it just proves that the 360 is an American console. It's what people play in the U.S., I think.
America's the best country. I mean, who gives a fuck what they play in Australia?
I think it's obvious how insularly annoying we are, and I embrace that. Why would we care?
Right. Well, I mean, Japan, nobody plays, in Halo in Japan.
That's
I read another article just recently that Halo Combat Evolved is called Combat Evolved. They added that little subtitle onto it because of the Japanese market. They had to explain to people in Japan what the game was about because Halo was too abstract. How can something be too abstract for the Japanese market? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I think I saw that article also. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was people reminiscing about those days, and Microsoft made them add the Combat Evolved part. And of course, they shot themselves in the foot because then they made the Custom Edition, Halo Custom Edition, which is now Halo CE.
Yeah.
It's just...
That doesn't make any sense at all. Like Final Fantasy, like that doesn't explain anything at all about that game, ever.
No,
So it's weird that they would have to have CE.
Does the Red Dead Redemption make sense for the name of the game? I mean, do most games make sense? Why is it called BioShock?
Yeah.
Often they don't make sense.
Why is it called Resident Evil?
Also, is Red Dead... okay, I'm gonna be a little stupid here. Is Red Dead Redemption a sequel to Red Dead Revolver?
Yes.
Okay, that would explain why I have no idea
If I'm not mistaken,
any backstory or anything in that game.
Yeah?
I think the character in Red Dead Revolver, his name was Red. Is that wrong?
I don't know. I didn't play it.
I think that's true. Let me wiki that.
It's interesting they made a sequel to a game that apparently nobody played.
Yeah, I don't think it did extremely well.
Well,
We had Xboxes, and we were playing the hell out of our Xboxes. I'd never even thought about picking up a Red Dead Revolver.
I played it when it came out. I really liked it.
I played Gun. I actually thought Red Dead Redemption was kind of a ripoff of Gun. Little did I know that Gun was just yet another knockoff of a Rockstar game.
Yeah.
Gun was cool, though.
Yeah.
For a launch title, especially, it was really cool.
It was a hidden gem.
You think so?
Well, I don't think...
Hidden among 7 titles?
Yeah, well, I think there were more than 7. I think there were 12, but it didn't get a lot of hype. Everybody was talking about Madden and fucking Perfect Dark, both terrible games.
Yeah,
Call of Duty 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, your character's name is Red in the first game.
Yeah, the launch title for the 360 left quite a bit to be desired.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
Call of Duty 2
people don't talk about Quake very often.
You basically had Call of Duty 2 and that other...
I think Cameo was like the big standout.
Yeah.
Cameo is a pretty cool game.
And Geometry Wars.
I don't remember what I picked up when it launched. I think I bought Cameo and King Kong, and yeah, was there a Dead or Alive? There was a Dead or Alive launch.
DOA 4.
I think I had DOA, Cameo, and
I also bought Condemned.
King Kong.
That was disappointing.
I think I bought Condemned like a week or two later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought Perfect Dark. I played it once, and then went back a year later and tried to play it again. Gave it a solid hour, and then had to put it down again.
Condemned was it was a pioneer title, though. It really set the watermark for how to completely fuck up achievements. And everyone has just been trying to get it the same way, fuck it up as bad as they did.
What kind of bad achievements do they have? I don't remember.
At launch, they had, was it 720 total points you get in the game? They didn't even have 1,000.
Right. I think King Kong was like that also, right? King Kong
had 1,000.
1,000.
Had
Really?
seven achievements for 1,000 points, I think.
Yeah.
But Condemned ended up having 960 points.
Is that what it is?
That's what it has. It has 960.
Like right out of the gate, they had these standards they set for the achievements, and they just fucked them up right away.
Threw it out the window.
And now it's like, I can't make heads or tails of that point system at all. Because now I see like 1,300 points for games, 1,500, 1,700.
Yeah.
What is it now?
1,000 at retail, up to 750 from DLC.
So 1,750.
1,750 is the max a game can have.
Right now.
Right now. I hope that won't change.
Halo 3 has 1750, right?
Halo 3 has 1750. But it gets wacky, too, because I was just looking at the Games for Windows titles. Mm-hmm. The Dawn of War game has 2,000 achievement points in it. So apparently it doesn't apply to that game.
Is that a 360 game, or is that...
It's not on the 360,
PC,
but it's on
okay.
Games for Windows, and the achievements are in the same system. And then also, I think... also for arcade games, it used to be 200 points plus 50 points for DLC.
Yeah.
But now Magic the Gathering has 300 points. It's the only title to have 300 points. It's confusing.
I hope they just dump the points. I hope they do. I hope the new, whatever announcement they're going to make at E3 or have already made, I hope that among those announcements was something to just standardize achievements and just do away with the points.
Would you be more in favor of like no points at all, or would you be more in favor of a system like the PS3 trophy system where there's just 3 tiers, like a bronze, silver, and gold?
That's my answer to that. Is, I don't know. Not my job to fix that. My job is to complain about it.
I like seeing the distinction. I don't necessarily
points.
care about points, but I like seeing the distinction, like knowing that this achievement's harder than that achievement.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And I feel like that's what kind of Gamerscore does. Like, oh, I see a 50-point achievement. I know that's obviously going to be much harder than a 5 or a 10-point achievement.
And PS3 has the leveling system, like you're a level X, you know?
I don't dislike the leveling system.
No, I
like
don't
seeing
either.
somebody as a level 10 gamer means something to me.
Yeah.
But I also, whatever they did with, however they implemented the trophy system, it just has not taken off and doesn't seem to work.
Nope.
I mean, physically it works, but nobody seems to give a shit about it, right? I don't know if it's just too late to the party, or if there's just no.
But we've been through this before. We talked with Gavin.
Yeah.
All Gavin cares about is the points for whatever reason, but he doesn't care about his total points.
Right.
He just cares about the individual points. Like he wants.
What?
He's an idiot. He wants like a 100-point achievement, and he won't get a 5-point achievement because it's not as much as the 100-point achievement. So who cares about it? But he doesn't care about his total overall score.
That's
Also,
so stupid.
It's very specific.
he's okay with having like Bernie's saying 995 out of 1,000 points in a game, as long as he got the big achievements. And if the 5-point achievement is annoying and what he deems not worth his time, he won't take the trouble to get it.
Whereas I would have to get that because I wouldn't
Right.
leave a game 5 points from being finished.
Right.
Which is why the non-standardized systems bugs me because I can't tell what's completed and what's not completed. That's the only thing I care about. But I realize that is personal to me. Not
I
to
wish
everybody.
there was a way to make a distinction between retail and DLC, right? Like you could say 1,000 points at retail, and that's a completed game for you. And then if you choose to buy the DLC, then there's a second tier for it or something.
I can see that, like
I
a
don't
breakdown
know.
where you can like look at your
Yeah.
games completed, or, original content or games completed with DLC and things like that.
I'm actually okay with DLC taking away a completed game from you. I'm actually okay
Really?
with that.
I
actually
find
am
that
okay.
kind of annoying
Because then you're not. Then you're paying
because you're being.
complete
It's
games.
almost like you're being punished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. And also, they can make like one of the DLC achievements is ridiculous,
Right.
Like, get 10,000 kills on our new multiplayer map, that kind of thing. I agree, but if as long as it's standardized. But I think what you're saying, and I agree with, is that retail games should be 1,000 points. Then every DLC should be 250. This up to 750 garbage. Companies clearly don't know how much DLC they're going to put out.
Right.
DLC falls off real fast. Not as fast as episodic gaming, man. Episodic gaming is gone, isn't it?
Well, DLC killed
Yeah.
that.
I guess it did.
That's all it is.
I mean, it's just like episodic gaming was. Did anybody who made an episodic game get past the second iteration? Anybody? Sam and Max? Is that the only one?
Sam and Max.
Sam and Max. That other one, Wallace and Gromit.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
They had
Actually,
an-
was Wallace and Gromit.
They had 4 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think maybe Homestar on the Wii had like
Homestar
3.
did.
But these were supposed to be people running for like 5, 6 episodes, and that was it.
But I will agree that like it does. If I like Fable 3 or Fable 2 has 1350. That's annoying. I wish Fable 2 had 1250 or 1500.
Right.
Because if I look at 1350, it means nothing to me.
It means nothing.
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto has 1500. I can understand that. I can get behind that. Halo has 1750. The increments make sense to me.
Or how about this? When you're looking through the games on the list of, like, if I look at yours and I see your list, points and then a percentage.
The percentage would be great.
Or 1350 of 1350.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's not that hard.
That solves everybody's problem right there.
Right, because then you can look at it and tell. Or you
I like it.
Hit a little button and see what's what.
Yeah, and it just seems so random too. Like Skate 3 just came out with DLC, 100 points. So now Skate 3 is an 1100 point game.
And you don't know if that's where it's going to stop.
Right.
Right? It could be they could put out 2 more DLC and they won't use up all their 1750. It just doesn't make sense. Just like Condemned coming out, it had to have 1,000 points, but it decided to only have 960. It just doesn't make sense why that happened that way.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna have a point system, the points have to mean something, right? They have to be part of a bigger system,
Absolutely.
right?
Do you think there'll be any point inflation with the next iteration of Xbox, where now retail games will have 2,000 points instead of 1,000 points?
You know what? I could see that because if you look at like leaderboards and stuff, someone historically could just have 10 years into Xbox Live, and it doesn't really mean like somebody who's got 10,000 points versus somebody who has 60,000 points. Yeah, it would make sense that people level up faster, essentially, right?
I don't know about that.
Well,
It's a common gaming thing, though, Jack.
It's also like the difference between retail and DLC now. There's like 2 different tiers of maximums. Then you have a new console, and you bump that up, so that it's just like different levels coming back down. And it also incents people to possibly move from the current generation to the next generation.
Or it doesn't de-incent people from getting involved with it.
Right.
Like, why would I get involved with a gamer score? Why would I start now because I'm 15 and starting to play games, or 5 and starting to play games? Why would I care about it because I have 2,000 points and people have 180,000 points?
Like you and I, for instance, believe that the entire reason that Gus doesn't care about achievements is because we were 10,000 points ahead of him when we started talking about it.
Totally believe that.
No, but I was there in the ground floor playing the games when you all started too. I just from the beginning I never cared.
But it just seems like something
Like you all were
care
already
about.
you all were already looking for them, even though you weren't talking about it. You were looking for them on your own and getting them.
Yeah.
Me, I knew they were there. I just didn't give a fuck. I still don't.
Which strikes us as weird.
It does, because you're competitive.
Yeah, I got hooked in immediately when I started playing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I wanted to be serious about it, I could kick your asses.
Well,
It would take me like 2 months.
what's your gamer score?
I think it's just under 19,000.
Dude, that'll be a
like
long haul. I'm at
18,000.
75,000 right now.
I'll tell you what, guys. I'll bet you $10,000 of Jeff's money right now.
So what? You'll bet me 3 Vespas.
That's how the
I
podcast
lost
started.
I lost $1,000 to Jeff in a fucking achievement bet. I'm never
Yep.
doing that shit again. That was $1,000. That's a fifth of a Vespa.
Jeff
And
lost.
one flower bush.
Jeff lost like a day of his life doing that 7-day Survivor achievement for you.
That's true. 14
No, we-
hours.
You didn't do it? Did you do it?
No.
Okay. So,
So it's like everything's coming up roses for Ramsey.
yeah. But the point is that we're making here, Jack, is that you always have to be conscious of new people coming into a game or a system, and you can't de-incent new players. You always want to keep that open to new people coming in.
But you also don't want
Absolutely.
to. You also don't want to nerf the system for new people.
You don't want to have piss off your current customers either. I get that. That happens all over the place.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but you're not giving new people any advantage over existing people, because existing people can also play the same games or get the same hardware.
Like WoW has done that extremely well, I think. Where when the system came out, you max level cap was 60, and it took a fucking ton of time to get from 20 to 60. And then once they bumped it up to 80, they nerfed essentially the point total to get from 20 to 60. Now it's much easier to get from 20
Yeah,
to
you
60.
just cruise through that.
You cruise through that. Nobody's complaining about that. Nobody's like, although we've made a couple comics joking around about it, nobody's going like, getting to 60, I had to work 10 times as hard as you're having to work.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody's actually grousing
Because
about
no
it.
one cares about level 60. Everyone's so focused on the end game and the current stuff, like the level 80 stuff, that no one cares about anything behind them.
Although you bitched
Exactly.
when I said I got my mount at level 20, and you said you had to wait till like 50 to get yours or whatever.
That's pretty fucked up, because it used to be
40.
you had to wait till level 40, and you needed like 100 gold, I think, and now you get it like level 20 for like 10 gold.
Do you know that's why I stopped playing WoW? Honestly, was because I played a druid so that I could be turned into a cat at level 20.
Yeah. level 20.
And that would allow me. I was like, I can go faster at level 20. I'm going to pick this class and play this. And then I got all the way to it, got the fucking cat form or whatever, and it doesn't go any faster than the person.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does 120%.
It didn't when I got it.
No, the cat's faster. A cat is not as fast as a mount, but it's still faster than walking.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I knew that I couldn't go as fast as people on
I
horses.
think
Yeah, it's
I think
incremental.
a mount is a 60% speed increase, and the cat, off the top of my head, I believe is a 40% speed increase.
I thought it was 20, but you probably would know better than me.
Yeah, fuck if I know, dude. I haven't played in a while.
I'm a sucker for. I hate that walking around crap. I am a sucker for speeding up.
You love exploring, though.
It's true, I do.
It's like a weird identity crisis. You love exploring, but you hate doing it.
Well, like I was one of the last games I was playing was Oblivion, and I was dumping points into speed, which just made me walk faster. So, I mean, maybe that's part of it. I just want to get around the area faster.
Like when you came back to WoW briefly, you came back for about a week. I remember you were obsessed. There were achievements, in-game achievements, associated with unlocking all the different zones in the map, and that's all you did. You've walked and flew around, unlocking zones and getting those achievements.
They do a good job of showing you what you have seen and what you haven't seen too. Like when you the breakdown in the achievement panel for that.
Well, the crazy thing is on my map, it looked like I had discovered every area in every area. And then I realized I didn't have achievements for these other areas. Like, what did I miss here? So I go back and look. I like that. I like that virtual space stuff. I always have.
I wonder... That's interesting because I hadn't thought about this. I wonder how those achievements are going to change once Cataclysm comes out because a lot of those places aren't going to exist anymore.
Will they be like...
I wonder if they're going to grandfather those achievements into like feats of strength, like achievements that exist but you can't get anymore. And then like there'll be new achievements for exploring the new areas.
What a conundrum.
Hey, did you all see there was speaking of Blizzard stuff, there was a StarCraft 2 commercial during Game 4 of the NBA Finals?
War is coming, right?
Yep.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
It was a pre-rendered, computer-generated commercial.
How was it?
It's pretty awesome. It's
Really?
cool.
I'll have to check that out.
When was the last time you watched TV, Jeff?
Yeah.
I don't think I've turned my TV on to watch TV in maybe 2 weeks.
I would say I watched the entire season of Lost, and I saw one episode on TV. It was the last episode.
The last program I watched the season premiere of Hell's Kitchen on Hulu. This is the last thing I can remember even watching on TV. Or not TV, but I mean entertainment-wise.
And I haven't been on the podcast in a while. I'm sure you guys have talked about the end of Lost. I geared up, watched a bunch of Lost, got it on iTunes, loved it. I love this new way of watching things. It's like, it's not a movie, it's not TV, it's like hyper movie, where it's these awesome TV shows, and you watch them all essentially in one sitting on DVD. It's essentially like a 20-hour movie, which is great, because then you really get wrapped up in stuff.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to having the complete Lost series on Blu-ray when it comes out in August, because I want to sit down and just watch like everything from like episode 1 all the way through to the end.
Consume it.
Yeah, it's like I was talking to Andrew Panton a while back, and he was asking what TV shows I liked, what were my favorite TV shows, and I was like, you've got to try to watch The Shield. It's 7 seasons. It's all over. He watched all 7 seasons in about a month.
Yep.
That's got to be
awesome.
That's the best experience.
And you get more out of it, because that's the way they write it.
Yeah.
You lose stuff week to week. That's why they have that previously on
Absolutely.
Lost. What do you think that guy's doing now, the previously on Lost guy?
He'll roll into whatever the next J.J. Abrams project is.
You know, it's funny
Alias
it's
reboot.
funny you say about the previous about Lost, the previously on Lost, like the previously on The Shield. Like as that show went on, the previously on The Shield just got longer and longer and longer. It could take up to 5 minutes if you were like at a critical episode.
It would span 4 and 5 seasons.
I almost feel like sometimes they should have had a commercial break in the middle of the previously on The Shield guy. It went on for so long.
It went from previously on The Shield to next time on The Shield. Those things are kind of spoilers too, because clearly they're going to show you something that's relevant to the episode you're about to watch. So
Right.
I try to stay away from them sometimes too. But you should watch The Wire. If you guys are going to watch anything on DVD, that should be the next thing. I don't think either of you have watched The Wire, right?
Maybe I'll watch it on the plane right out to LA.
Absolutely. Start on season 1 of The Wire. It's great.
Is that on iTunes?
I think I saw it on iTunes, yeah.
Cool. I'll buy that and watch it on my trip also.
It's an HBO show, right?
Yeah, and it turns out there are some HBO shows on iTunes. I was wrong.
Cool.
For a long time there wasn't, but eventually there was.
Its run was essentially during The Sopranos, so people just kind of missed out on it. I think it was maybe a season after The Sopranos. But it's a really great show.
Okay.
But I watched all of Lost, right? Get caught up. I'm going to watch it. Event TV. I'm going to show up and watch the final episode of Lost. Send the series off. Jack comes over. We get some beer. We sit down. We watch it. TiVo cuts out 30 seconds before.
Not TiVo. Time Warner. DVR.
Whatever. The DVR.
TiVo's good.
The DVR cuts out 30 seconds before the end. As Christian Shepherd is opening the doors at the end, cuts off.
Oh my
We're gonna
god!
fucking kill somebody. It's just like so annoying to try to watch TV.
That Time Warner DVR is the biggest piece of shit.
It is the biggest piece of shit.
Dude,
they even upgraded the software on it.
Oh yeah.
So now the interface is totally different and worse.
They're like, some people are able to use this successfully. How can we stop them?
No, I got cable in my house installed yesterday, this Thursday. And the first thing I did was like, yeah, I don't want your boxes. Like, what? Well, no, you can get a deal. I don't want your boxes. I've got my own TiVos.
Yeah.
I'll take your cable card, but I'm not going to take your box. And already I'm like, oh god, I miss TiVo. It was so like the one I reactivated the ones I had, immediately started recording Daily Show and Colbert Report for me, and I was like, I didn't even touch it. And it
Oh,
just,
like it remembered what you liked or something.
Exactly.
Do you
That
call
was
it
always
the
one of the-
Colbert Report?
Yeah. Well,
That's what it's called, but no, that sounds silly.
Well, it's not the Colbert Report.
Colbert Report.
That's one of the things I always liked about the TiVo
Steve
that
Colbert Show.
the Time Warner DVR doesn't do, was the TiVo would sometimes record stuff that it would think you would like.
Yeah, there's TiVo suggestions.
Right, it'd be like, hey, you might like this,
film
and
or
it'll show you
record
something.
random stuff. So
Yeah.
it's great. And I found some stuff through there. So
Yep.
My box decided about 6 months ago it was going to digitally glitch every 10 minutes. Or not, excuse me, every minute, right, Jack?
yeah, it was rough.
It's like you're talking like this little digital hiccup, and it just drives me crazy.
That sucks.
I would rather buy it on iTunes, even though I'm paying for cable. I'd rather buy a show I like on iTunes, watch it at my leisure, and I know I have the full thing. I know that the file's not going to cut out 10 seconds before the end.
Time Warner's pretty terrible. Like, I know you're. This is only day one of the World Cup, and you're already sick of it, Bernie. But you can stream, you can stream almost every World Cup game live through ESPN3.com, but not if you're a Time Warner Roadrunner customer.
Really?
Yeah, like they have deals with almost every access provider in the country, but not with Time Warner.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're have AT&T DSL or Uverse, you can stream all the games. If you have at home, I have Grande. If you have Grande, I can stream all the games. Comcast, you can. I don't know about Comcast.
Vios,
Yeah,
or Fios.
Fios you can,
And do
but
we
not
also,
Time Warner.
Do we also have the only cable provider in the entire nation that has turned off a major network? We got NBC shut off for how long? 2 weeks?
Yeah, and
Something like
wasn't
that.
there a threat of
Fox, I think.
Was it
Fox,
Fox? Yeah,
yep.
Fox was going to have that too.
Yeah, because American Idol, and they were like, we got to get our American Idol on. So
And Time Warner's like, no, we're going to shut them off. They want $1.
Yeah, NBC was shut off for like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. It was like right after the season premiere. Was it fall of 09? That sucked.
Yeah, Office was a big thing, right?
No, it was
Yeah.
08. It was fall of 08. Yeah.
I remember it could have gone into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was everybody's
Yeah,
concern.
yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather watch on Hulu, too. I'd like the Previews on Lost guy to meet the Hulu guy. That'd be great. That Hulu guy's great.
He's awesome.
So I'm excited. By now, in just a couple days, we'll find out if Hulu's coming to the 360 or not.
God, I hope so.
Oh,
man.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's
what's one of the big rumors. Reuters was reporting that
reporting it.
they reported that Hulu's going multi-platform to be on the
Wasn't that
360.
Bella's?
And that if it's on the 360, it'll be a subscription-based
Right.
service, right? I'd be happy to pay for that.
Well, that could be like the launch of the subscription-based service for Hulu. They can
Yeah.
just launch it with Xbox and then do some, on the website.
I think that
too.
Reuters article said that they would also do iPad and maybe PS3. I don't remember off the top of my head if that was in there.
Did they say iPhone?
I don't think so. No,
But Netflix is coming to iPhone.
Netflix will be coming iPhone. Though.
Yeah.
I want the big partnership with the Hulu guy. I'd want him to announce everything. Like, putting a game, it's like, this game brought to you by
Sprint.
Old Spice. Today's program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption by H&R Block. That guy must do that all day long.
Yeah.
You wonder if they just they brought him in one day and had him say every company in the world.
Yeah, he could just say this commercial is brought to you by, and then just
Yeah.
run down the list of all the different companies.
So the previous and Lost guy was actually the dude who greenlit the show at ABC.
What? Really?
Yeah, they had him tape it. He was fired. Do you know that?
Yeah, he was the president of it, right? Of ABC?
Yeah, apparently
He didn't just greenlight Lost. He greenlit a bunch of a bunch of stuff that turned out to be successful. And they fired him before anything took off, right?
apparently one of the reasons why he greenlit Lost was a fuck you. He knew he was on his way out the door. So he took their pilot and greenlit it, and it cost $11 million. It was the most expensive pilot in the history of television.
Did you guys read that the president of NBC just got fired too?
Really?
No, he's gonna be forced to step down supposedly.
Why is that?
I don't know. I didn't read the article. I just saw.
Well,
the
what do you mean?
headline.
Why is that? NBC?
Maybe because of the late night wars on top
Good
of every
Lord.
other bad decision they've
Do you see
made.
they're talking about now? What's his name? Jimmy Fallon. He maybe they're saying basically he's next to go because his ratings have dropped, and it's like, well, geez, because Leno is his lead-in now, and Conan is a perfect lead-in for Fallon.
Leno ain't to blame for everything, dude.
Yeah, I would not say Leno is to blame for Fallon not getting ratings.
I don't know.
will say this. The only show I do watch regular on TV, and I do watch it, is the Craig Ferguson show. But I don't watch David Letterman. I tune in specifically for Craig Ferguson. Dude is funny.
You
know
know, he puts on like a
Ferguson?
30-minute monologue every night or something, right?
Yeah, he's awesome.
I got to start watching it because I decided I was going to get back into late night TV, and I started watching Letterman again because everybody loves Dave, right? and I watched for 3 nights in a row, and it was boring.
Letterman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Ferguson does the lip dubs, right? Does he do that weekly, where they like
I don't
have a
see-
song playing?
I don't see a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
No. Like he'll do some pre-produced bits, but they're not that common. He's just a weird fucking dude.
yeah.
For like the last week and a half, his monologue, he does like 2 monologues. He does one before the first commercial break, and then he comes and just does regular stand-up monologue.
I wonder how much Craig Kilborn hates that guy.
You know, Craig Kilborn, my wife just told me, got picked up by somebody else.
Oh, really?
That he's going to be starting with Fox soon. They passed on Conan O'Brien and went for Craig Kilborn. That's weird to me.
Probably for 100th of the price.
Yeah,
now.
they probably got to pay way less for that.
I saw the Craig Kilborn show is the only show that I've ever been to a taping of. We were in L.A. and we went to go see a taping, and it was
How was it?
Was it Daily Show or was it Craig Kilborn?
it was late show, the Craig
Late
Kilborn
show
show.
with Craig Kilborn.
Well, what Craig Ferguson actually has now, that show.
Yeah.
And it was okay, but Susan Sarandon was the guest. Man, is she fucking hot, dude.
Yeah, she's an attractive lady.
Have you seen their daughter? Her daughter and Tim Robbins?
Does she have the same assets of her mother?
Yeah, huh? Wow. Yikes. It's, I'll look up her name here real quick. Excuse me, I'll be on Google. Oh, by the way, what's up with Google putting the Bing image up on their thing? What was that?
What?
Did they do
They
that?
have like a background image now when you go to Google by
No,
default.
they took it off.
Yeah,
it was up for like 6 hours total.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah, it was up for less than a day. That test.
I didn't see that.
Apparently, the third most searched Google phrase was "How do I remove the background image?" Like when that was up.
Did you see the tech support call from the old lady who called, I guess, her internet provider to ask how to remove Pac-Man from the Google logo?
Oh, why?
Because it was not allowing her to study because of all the noise it was making.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, I had trouble listening to it because of our tech support days. I just imagined myself trying to talk someone through closing their Google tab without closing anything else. Like, I guess she had Google open, her browser open in the background, not realizing it, with
man.
other tabs over it, and just,
Did you hear the call where the woman called up like NBC or something like that, was complaining because there was a tornado warning in her area and she was trying to watch her television and the tornado warning was blocking the rest of the TV. She's like, that tornado's not even near me. Why is that on the TV? It's like,
I'm-
it's just some rural area.
There's never an easy way to say this, so I'm just going to do it on the podcast. I am, Griffin, I love you, but I'm divorcing you to marry Susan Sarandon's daughter.
You're no kidding, right?
Jesus.
How hot is she?
I'm going to have to figure out a way to lure her into my trap.
well, you're going to be in L.A. for E3. Yeah, she probably lives in L.A.
There you go.
Give her a call. Talk to her people.
Why isn't she in every movie ever made?
What does she do?
I don't know. We asked that a question about the chick on...
What does she have to do, dude? Yeah.
Yeah, how come you didn't know Susan Sarandon had a hot daughter?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
We sat next to Tim Robbins and his son at a Chili's to go one time in the LA airport, and his son was not hot.
Well,
I mean, he seemed
got-
okay.
Clearly the daughter didn't
yeah.
get a lot of the Tim Robbins,
Yeah,
right?
no, obviously not.
Which, good for her,
Yeah, great for her.
That's what you want.
good for everyone.
I wonder how many dudes are like, go on a first date, though, with her, I don't even know her name here, Eva Amuri is her name.
Sure.
I wonder how many dudes go on a date with her and are like, hey, you want to talk about the Shawshank Redemption? That movie was great. That's what I would do.
It's weird. It looks like a bizarro young version of Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, bizarro, that's the word
Yeah.
I use. As opposed to totally fucking hot.
Fantastic.
Bazongo.
That's probably a much better word.
Once again, that problem that you and I discussed the other day. These girls who are immensely hot, they cannot have had good sex in their entire life.
We were just talking about that because we were looking at some picture of some girl. And a girl like Susan Sarandon's daughter must think that every man in America comes in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I've never had sex with a guy because he's never successfully got his pants off without having 4 orgasms. Like, it's got to be, like, that must drive more hot chicks to lesbianism than anything else.
They must just think, like, it's like, well, how long does sex last? It lasts 45 seconons, right?
What do you mean, how long does it last? It lasts as long as you put the condom on.
Can you believe in these movies when people have sex for 10 minutes? It's how unbelievable.
You know what the biggest bullshit in the world is? 2-minute love scenes. As if.
That's got to be a huge problem, right?
Yeah. That's like we used to always talk about Angry Boobs, which was the immensely talented girl who used to work at the bar across the street from us. We always talk about how we couldn't make eye contact with her. That girl, woman, has gone through her entire life thinking that every guy can't make eye contact, drools, and stares at his feet. Because no man has ever had the balls to make eye contact with her and not talk like this. I was talking about You know, that's gonna be every conversation she's ever had with any guy except for her dad.
Or every time I walk away from the table, nobody says anything to me. The moment I walk away, everybody goes, rah, rah, rah.
Everybody's always talking about me behind my back.
They're always laughing at me or something. Everybody seems to have a great time the moment the moment I walk away. Jeff, what do you think is the longest you've ever had sex? Like, from the moment sex started to you were done?
I'm the older I get, the easier it is to have sex for a long time. So
Don't say that about Griffin.
No. I think has nothing to do with my lovely, lovely wife, who's very talented in many ways. I could probably go for a half hour.
You can?
I think so.
Dude, there's no way. You're gay. You're absolutely, you have to be.
No.
Is there a politics?
And am I drunk? If I'm drunk, I could go for a long time.
No, that's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
That's a very short window.
Drunk is hard, dude, because you got to be drunk enough,
Right.
to be like, all right, I'm gonna make it work for you tonight. Like this is gonna, for once, you're going to enjoy sex tonight, right? It's not gonna be like 45 seconds and then I'm playing Xbox. But if you're too drunk, then it's just like
The equipment,
you end up with what a friend of mine calls whiskey dick.
yeah.
Right.
The equipment doesn't show up for the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me go a little further here. Is there a politics of orgasm in a threesome?
I would have no idea.
I'm asking you a question. He cut out later. If he wants to. Is there a politics to that?
I can tell you that I have never had an orgasm first during sex.
In your life?
I don't think so.
That makes sense.
I would feel incredibly guilty if, like, plus if I had an orgasm, I would be like, all right, great, going to sleep. Have at it, you know. So I always feel like it's my as the, I don't know, whatever my role in the situation is, it's my duty to provide gratification first. Like a man, like the woman is like, women first off are amazing, right? I mean, they're the whole reason guys are alive. So you got to keep the woman happy. You have to.
I understand the theory about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, on a theological level, I understand. Like, I could write that down on paper, too. You're telling me never in your life, ever...
I'm sure it's happened once or twice. But no, like, if stuff gets... Like, if the situation starts to go that route, then you just got to take a step back and go, like, all right, we got to rework this scenario here until you're happy. And then, you know, we'll worry about me.
And then 2 seconds later, you can be happy.
And then, yeah, and then literally 2 seconds later, I'll be happy.
I don't think like that.
No?
No, I'm not in that state of mind. If I get to that point in state of mind, next thing I know, I'm upside down a flower bush with a Vespa on top of me, wondering what the fuck is happening. Yeah, so that's nice. It's nice that in your life you have been with some wonderful liars.
I try to be very accommodating.
I bet Eva Amuri would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what's the girl from What Would Tyler Durden Do? What was her name?
Shay
Maria. Shay Maria.
Had you ever heard of her before?
I had never heard of her until she was on What Would Tyler
I
Durden
had
Do.
seen her before.
She just started a Twitter. I think What Would Tyler Durden Do linked her Twitter account.
Oh, really?
A couple
that
weeks
sounds
ago.
awesome. Yeah. I see her about every 45 seconds now online.
That's what I want from a girl who looks like that. Text.
No, Twitter feeds are great because
You can just filter everything out that doesn't even have like TwitPic in it.
Yeah, girls post twit pics constantly. I've gotten really, really bored with Twitter, and everybody seems to still use it and likes it so much. And so to trick myself into using Twitter, I started following porn stars. And that's awesome. Like every 35, you know, like every 2 or 3 minutes, there's like a new twit pic, and it's like, here I am on set, about to get my fuck on. And you're like, nice.
Yeah.
I just pulled up a site trying to find the picture of the person we were talking about, and there's an Eliza Dushku Twitter pic.
Oh, from the NBA Finals?
In the Celtics jersey?
You know it.
Apparently we do.
That's a whole site right there.
What's that?
Aggregating twit pics.
Already done.
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah,
TheIPhoneBabes.com?
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, it's
Obviously
NSFW.
very not safe for
Yeah.
work.
Let me show you how to browse the site too, because it's tricky.
Just click on archive. You don't want to do anything else other than click on archive.
Click on archive. Right
They have a rated by?
Just click on archive.
That's an
Yeah.
iPhone photo?
No, just click
I'm analyzing this on a technical level.
Don't analyze.
Oh, what am I hitting?
Archive.
Archive.
There you go. Is this the one where it's just a huge wall of photos?
It's loading like a bitch.
It's
There
because
you
I'm
go.
downloading the entire site over in the front room. Sorry.
Just ripping the site.
Wow.
Whoever the man or woman that created that site is, they are a true hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a fantastic website.
I'm sure everyone. That's the first link everyone's going to go for is the link dump.
You should label it, like
Even if
mislabel it something.
Even if they don't listen to the podcast, they're going to be like, iPhone babes, huh? What's this?
I wonder, like, culturally, I wonder if in the future people will understand that the thing everyone's holding in their hand was what took the picture.
That's a good question.
Or if they'll think that we were worshiping this black box or something. It's like we take this black box into the bathroom and hold it up and look at it and take photos of ourselves with the black box, the little black square. It's like, I wonder too if the Egyptians worshipped cats or they just thought they were fucking funny. Like, if they were, like the internet. If you look at the internet, they're like, these people in the early millennium, they worshipped cats. It's like, no, it's fucking funny. Like, Jack was just watching a video of a cat hanging out a window.
It was like the original lolcats were just like pets in Egypt.
They were like, oh, here's the pharaoh. Look, check it out. Cat! Just following him around. Here's a dude with the head of a cat.
Yeah, because what the fuck else are they going to do for entertainment?
Yeah.
No shit, you're writing your billionth hieroglyphic.
It's not like cats have evolved to be funny throughout the ages, right?
I mean, how many times did you draw the dude with the masonry jar and the other dude fighting the cobra? we need some comic relief in here. Throw a fucking cat in.
Oh, wow.
All right, now I'm done.
Yeah,
right.
well, that's a good way to go
Yeah,
out.
we got to get back to E3.
Before
Oh my god.
Before we quit, I need to mention that we have a survey up. If anyone wants to take it, it's in the Drunk Tank group, roosterteeth.com/Drunk Tank.
Please take it.
We're just trying to find out some information about people who listen to the podcast.
Oh, also, should you mention, hey, what's up with that?
That's a
Should
great
you
photo.
mention, do you want to talk about your, you want to talk about the DVD?
This girl's covering her boobs, and she has a waterproof case on her iPhone. I want to know why. I want to know
Yeah.
why.
Like, where's
Why-
the next photo? What was the photo after that?
Why did she have a waterproof
She's in the
case?
bathroom.
Yikes.
Good God.
Hey, did you want to talk about the DVD?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Probably should mention that.
Maybe she's going to work on the oil spill.
That's possible.
Next. Right after taking the photo.
Doesn't want to get her shirt ruined.
Yeah, she took off her shirt. I didn't want to get dispersant on it. Okay. Okay, DVD, yeah. So we have a new retail arrangement with Best Buy, available online at bestbuy.com and in Canada at Future Shop. And so...
soon in stores as well.
No, yeah, definitely in stores. I was making the joke about it also available.
Yeah.
But so now starting next month, Red vs. Blue DVDs will be available at Best Buy, which we're very, very excited about.
Awesome.
And
I shop there a lot.
it's good timing to kick all this off. We've actually redone our box set. And as you all may know if you listen to this and you watch Red vs. Blue, on Xbox Live we had higher def versions of Red vs. Blue that were reshot versions of Season 1, Season 2, et cetera, that we painstakingly reshot shot for shot in high def. And now we've taken those files. Obviously, DVDs are not high def, but they're full frame, really cool remastered versions of Red vs. Blue. And that new box set is going to be available at Best Buy starting next month.
Yeah.
So now the old box sets are collector's items. Would you
And
say
we
that?
should
Big
also
time.
mention that it is a shot-for-shot remake. There's no Lucas-esque, like, fancier graphics or, like, we didn't change the audio. Our shitty Season 1 audio is still shitty Season 1 audio.
The commentaries.
Yeah.
Are the
I call it charming Season 1.
Charming,
audio.
yeah.
The commentaries
Commentary's
are
the same.
It's funny. I was actually watched Season 2 on the DVD and listening to the commentary, and you guys are bitching about like how you had to shoot stuff in Halo PC versus Halo on the Xbox.
And then we ended up reshooting Seasons 1 and 2 on a Halo
Yeah.
PC.
And first half of Season 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And we did record another commentary for Season 1 as well, so we put some extra bonus features in there
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
And
it's a 6 DVD set, just like our current one, but it's in a smaller form factor box.
in
looks
two
really
cases.
cool. We should
It's
post
really
a picture
cool.
of it.
It's
yeah.
the same RVB that you've loved over the years. It just looks better.
But the cool thing is like Gus said, those original box sets and those original discs, if you bought them, are now essentially collector's items.
Yeah, those are gone.
You know, we did a funny thing when we made the very first season of Red vs. Blue when we didn't even call it Season 1 on the DVD. We just called it Red vs. Blue because we didn't know there was going to be a Season 2 for sure. And we made a joke where we wrote Special Edition at the top of that DVD.
We wrote, was it special edition or collector's
No, special
edition?
edition.
Special edition, yeah. And occasionally we see one of those every now and then. So if you have a special edition Season 1 Red vs. Blue, you literally have one of the first 10,000 DVDs we ever made.
Like it was,
Yeah.
it ended up being a special edition for that, and now it's like a special edition because
Yeah.
now we have the remastered. Disc.
Now it's special collector's edition.
Actually, it's a special because we redid it and then we redid it again for retail with the red and blue guys.
Yep.
And now it's being redone.
Mm-hmm.
So there have been a few versions of season 1. Do you remember that you and I very briefly entertained the idea of just writing Criterion Edition at the top of it?
Oh, we did, yeah. Wonder if it was
we thought that
copyright.
was going to be really funny.
That probably would have gotten
and
a
we
lot,
decided
right?
not to do it, and probably a good idea.
Do we have one of those original DVDs around here somewhere?
Yeah.
We do?
I have one at
Front room.
home, too.
Okay. We should take a photo of that.
All right.
I'm assuming-
So do we know when those DVDs are going to be available for sale?
I think June 29th.
I think you're right. It's either June 28th or June 29th, which
And
is just a couple weeks away.
They'll be available on Best Buy, and on our store as well.
They'll be our store as well, right?
And as Bernie said, the original box set is gone. It's we sold through all of them, and we're not remaking them because we have this fancy box set.
We didn't make an announcement about the original box set going away because we were afraid that would seem like, we were trying to push sales of it or anything like that. So we just
Waited till it naturally went out of stock.
But they went out of stock 1 month before the new ones come out.
Well,
so.
the kudos to Matt because he's the one that orders DVDs. He figured that out. And was able to time it. Pretty
So
regularly.
it'll be available June 29th, like you said, in Best Buy. And then if you're in Canada on Future Shop, we're trying to work currently on getting retail distribution in the UK. If you're in Australia and New Zealand, we've already had retail distribution, and you should be seeing the new box sets arriving down there sometime soon.
How many Best Buys are going to have midnight launches for our DVD?
Well, probably all of them.
Well, the new box set, the trilogy, the Recollection trilogy, will be out pretty much on shelves at the exact same time as Halo Reach.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty cool.
That's
So
awesome.
When you're already in line for the midnight release of Red vs. Blue, you can pick up Halo Reach.
Have we
Oh,
announced that?
that's convenient.
And
we
if
announced
for,
that yet?
Nope. That's another
So
announcement.
Bernie just announced that.
Well, guess what? We're going to put the season on DVD as well.
Yeah.
Little
really
did you
Well,
know.
no, when we're releasing it.
It'll be about the same time.
And
That's
if
awesome.
for whatever reason you have almost all of the original box set, or you lost a disc and you want one of the originals, we still sell those. They'll be going away too. We'll just sell through that stock.
Yeah, those are just being phased out.
And we've made a no box set right now in the store that's $50, and it includes the seasons 1 through 5 in their current form, the individual bonus disc, and we threw in the Strangerhood as well for $49.95.
So if anybody wants
$20 cheaper,
if
than the
anybody
box
wants
it
to
used
scoop
be.
up the original DVDs before,
If for whatever reason, I'm not encouraging to do
box
that.
set. Okay.
Because there's a new box set coming.
at us.
But
Or Mark.
has connected.
My wife
well,
just
there you go.
connected. Hold
But
on a
if for
second.
whatever reason you wanted to, or you lost your original season 2 and you want to get another one, they're still there.
Great.
Oh, when they're gone,
But but when they're gone, they're gone.
they're gone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap.
All right.
Love you, everybody.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.